we go again. Actually, when was the last time we recorded? Episode 20? Was it just last week? Okay. So we did 20th episode last week, so we're on to 21. 21. It was a good number, right? So,
our show can officially buy its own drink now.
There you go. Yeah, if you don't count all the subcasts that we've added on and done everything on there, so pretty cool stuff. So I had written out a few things to go over today. One of them I knew I was going to add on to it, but the Yazar Dogu tournament was one I wanted to hit on, which is going on right now. Actually, let's just go ahead and start there. So, tournament's going on. United World Wrestling has the links up to it and different things. Haven't got a chance to watch it yet. We just looked it up. 9:38 at night right now.
In Turkey.
That's
what time it is in
Turkey.
Turkey.
In Turkey. So looking forward to seeing some of the wrestling from there. We already know that Gilman has wrestled and won his first match. Taylor won his first match, got a pin, and Logan lost 6-4. Logan Berry lost 6-4.
Yeah.
His guys got to make it to like the finals or something like that for him to get pulled back into the tournament. So, for those of you that don't know, international tournament's kind of weird. If you lose your first match, it's not necessarily double elimination. There's a possibility of you getting to wrestle back, but you have to be what's called pulled back into the tournament by your guy advancing on and pulling you back into it. So if the guy that beats you loses, that's kind of like your second loss. So instantaneously, you have to start cheering for the person who beat you, which is kind of a weird thing if you want to have life in international tournaments. That's why just winning straight out is kind of so important. But I think this is a great tournament. It's a chance for our U.S. guys, our U.S. team to go out there and see where we are internationally right now before heading into Worlds. I think, in October?
Yeah,
so, I mean,
October.
So I think this is a ranked tournament, meaning like you can score points for seeding, all that kind of stuff. But great chance to see all our guys. I saw a tweet that said Jordan Burroughs and Chimizo are on opposite brackets or opposite sides of the bracket. So there's the potential. That's why Devin was asking.
Yeah.
That's why there's the potential for them to meet up at the finals, which, don't have to wait for Worlds, hopefully. So hopefully it just happens and we get to see them.
I don't think it will. I don't really see anyone...
No, I think those are our top guys. Anything can always happen, but those are our top guys at that weight. And I think this is a really good chance for us to see where we sit. And obviously it's a chance for us because this is everybody's there. To see where we fit at Worlds and what could potentially happen, who needs to work on what, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think it was cool that you brought it up, and like Devin, we just for those of you who don't know, so we just went out and had some wings and brought them back. Had to pay up on the first part of the bet I lost. So for Final X, so wings have been served in full. Devin also wanted his teriyaki wings, which I said I owed him. We should get TNT to sponsor us. TNT Hot Wings, best
that
wings.
That would be ideal.
I don't even care. We just talk about wings the whole time. I'll eat and have wing sauce all over me if they sponsor us.
45 minutes of nothing but just eating wings.
Eating wings. We will do it for the people. So, but anyway, yeah. So we just had wings, TNT Hot Wings. Go get them if you haven't. Best wings in town. And as we were driving out to go pick him up, Devin was asking, well, am I going to get Jordan's match? Am I going to get David Taylor on? He was just asking about the tournament, and he was kind of, that's why I said, he was kind of pestering you for it, and he was like, he actually said something that, I guess I should take as a compliment. He was like, it's kind of cool that Devin was pestering you to see this tournament. This isn't your regular high school duel or college duel or NCAA tournament. He's wanting to see an international tournament with our international superstars. And I didn't think of it until you said it. I was just like, oh, yeah, this is just kind of second nature here. Like, my boy wants to see that. And, I wish that more people had that kind of mindset. Like, how many of our guys at the high school level even know this is going on right now if they're not following on like one of the Instagram posts that I posted on this, that on Cerebrus Wrestling's Instagram,
I would
or
look a lot less weird if more people showed that much interest in wrestling because as much as we keep up with it, we're considered like nerds about it. A lot of people say we're kind of obsessed with it. It's just something we're passionate about. And if more people had that passion, we'd probably just be viewed as normal, I guess.
So, maybe we would have more viewers. More people need to listen so they can be educated on this stuff. So anyway, I thought it was kind of cool that, and like I said, I didn't think about it until you said it, that it's cool that he wants to see that and stuff. And it's bothering me to find out when it's going to be on, and I've got to find out. I got to find the schedule and find out exactly when it's going to be on. I got the other computer over here. It says live streaming events. Refer to official schedule for dates and times, and we'll be back shortly. So got access to it. It looks like it doesn't look like it's a paid thing. I'll check Track Wrestling here in a little bit. It might be something more on there. But, with the internet today, we have access to so many things. It's so easy to be immersed in the sport. Like, we can watch it on Track. We can watch it on Flow. We can watch it on United World Wrestling. They have a YouTube channel where they have stuff. There's so much stuff out there that we can see it. And it drives me crazy that we have great stuff going on, but yet there's more media coverage on camp football right now because it's
because that's
camp
super
time.
important.
Their camp practices where
nothing really is happening. Nothing interesting. The most interesting thing is probably contract disputes.
Yeah, contract disputes.
Who's not showing up, like stuff like that.
Who's not showing up? Who's where? Who's doing what? Yeah. The only one that I really even cared any slight bit about was one to mess with Quasi about it because he's a Cowboys fan, right?
He's a huge
Cowboys fan. And, Des Bryant's and his contract disputes, and the rumor is that he would like to play for the 49ers.
That would be interesting.
I would take him. Not that we don't have... I mean, that's the one place that we've got, like, a bunch of wide receivers. I'm not saying that we've got that star power wide receiver, but that's something we've been lacking for a little bit.
Bryant.
But, just to laugh at Quasi. And then I'll say that every catch is a catch instead of every catch is not a catch right now. So
then you have Le'Veon Bell with the Steelers, who apparently is like refusing to show up.
Pay the man.
Yeah, let's pay him.
Like he's one of the few cases where I'm like, he's holding out
for a good reason. Though.
And the reason why I saw is like he was 8th on the list of paid wide receivers.
No, Le'Veon Bell, running back.
No, the running. Okay.
Yeah.
Steelers. So same guy. Okay, he was 8th on the list for his position for paid position. Like he was like 8th on that list. I'm like, why is he not number 1?
Yeah, he should be.
Okay, so sit that one out. All right, everybody else, like for the most part, is kind of like it's mediocre. It's probably manager stuff and want attention.
For instance, there's what's his name, Sam Darnold who just got drafted. He is arguing his rookie contract. I'm like, dude,
you haven't played a game.
Yeah, who do you think you are?
So instead of being worried about rookies who haven't paid yet or played yet and trying to get paid, there's the obvious Le'Veon Bell. Pay the man. Go ahead and give Des Bryant a 49ers uniform. I mean, it'd be like Des Bryant and Sherman Williams like in 49ers uniforms this year. It'd be a wonderfully weird and great thing. But instead of worrying about all that, come on, guys. Like, especially our guys, and you guys always hear us say it, like, get immersed in your sport and involved in what you do and check things out. You know more about other teams and other things that you care nothing about than you do about the sport that you actually participate and compete in. So, especially for my young guys, get out there, go educate yourself. You spend enough time online anyway, and I don't mean that as a slam, and even though it did kind of sound that way, but the amount of time that you are spending online, you're right there next to it. Like, you're literally clicks away from access to great stuff, whether it be our podcast or this tournament.
Yeah, okay. Or our podcast again.
Yes. So, but seriously though, like it's there. Go check it out. Find it. It's got great stuff on it.
I was going to show you this just before I forgot. Sorry, I was kind of on my Instagram right here. Have you seen this post about David Taylor posted about Hassan?
Oh, him? Yeah. He doesn't want to leave yet. Like, we've got a lot of great matches yet to come still, and he's
in talks with WWE.
WWE.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool, but it's always been kind of the sad thing too that
there's not the outlet
for our guys, and that's like the closest thing to it. Now,
because that happened, you look at some of the people who've had to jump ship to the professional wrestling world.
It's either professional wrestling or the UFC. So I mean,
you had Chad Betts, who was on the Olympic Greco team. Chad Gable in WWE. For those of y'all who don't know, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle had to jump.
Didn't Matt Lindland? He was UFC or like other fight stuff. He never went.
Well, for instance, Mark Schultz. He had to go. He went to UFC when it was still early.
What's the guys that Kurt Angle, obviously, the Olympic gold medalist. That was his bit and everything. But his two guys that he had that were
Shelton Benjamin, Minnesota guy, I think, and then Charlie Haas was
Shelton Benjamin's from Orangeburg too, South Carolina guy. Yeah. So
I mean that's the outlet a lot of people have to go. Now you have and then Charlie Haas, I forget where he came from. Seton Hall, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. But I remember those two both being wrestlers and then going.
Dolph Ziggler from Kent State, all-time win leader for Kent State. I forget his real name. It's like Nick something.
Yeah. But I remember when he came out in the headgear one time. That was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, and he had the fake hair under it, and he
he had the headgear and everything. So, So check things out. Watch stuff. And also this. Also gives our guys, and it's happening now, and I'm sure you guys almost might be tired of hearing us talk about Kyle Snyder and whatnot, but if you are, too bad, he's still great. Kyle Snyder, Jordan Burroughs, all these guys are now able to sustain a living while still continuing to wrestle. It's not like it was in the past, and probably one of the reasons why Ben Askren, I think he's even said it, went MMA instead of going another Olympic cycle after he did go to the Olympics in China. He didn't achieve his goal of a gold medal or anything. But another reason why he went MMA was that was the route that was paying him. Yeah.
Even coaching wasn't paying that much.
No. So even today, though, like, he would be able to sustain himself if he had come out today,
Yeah.
And so by watching wrestling, not only are you educating yourself and learning about wrestlers and having somebody to support, but in a way we're also helping there be a dream. Like, like kids today want to go play pro football, pro basketball, whatever it is. That dream of going to be a professional wrestler, and when I say professional wrestler, I don't mean WWE, I mean senior level professional wrestler, isn't there except for a very few people that know about it. So as we grow the popularity and that ability to people want to do that, then it just gains attention.
So
to
I mean,
it.
for instance, this could have been...
Attention is a good thing for our sport, and we just need it.
This could have been... I mean, and I never know. I don't know him personally, so I don't know. I mean, he's a young guy, but probably one of the better wrestlers that we've seen in recent years was a young guy, decided to take the route of MMA. Now, granted, that's always been... He said that's been his plan, but
he had that
maybe
plan
that's because he didn't have a route to, professional-type wrestling. Aaron Pico.
Aaron Pico, amazing.
Yeah, and now he's in Bellator, and he's killing it, by the way. Love it.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Pico, Ed Ruth, we've talked about them before. But yeah, and they signed contracts earlier on saying that they would do it and stuff like that, and they held to those contracts, and they're making money doing that. But yeah, if they knew that the amount of money that could be made while still wrestling and stuff, that would have been an awesome thing. Like, I
mean, we could be having Aaron Pico shoes right now.
I'm still on the Pico bandwagon for wrestling and for MMA. So
he's killing it in MMA right now. I don't think he's made it out of the first round.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, not nice that he's lost, but he's also tasted that loss, so it's not like
first fight.
It's not like one of those fighters that they're like, well, what's going to happen when he loses? Well, we've already seen what happens when he loses.
He comes back
with body shots. I mean, he is dropping people, and it's amazing. I hadn't really seen him have to hit a takedown or anything else that he has also.
I don't think I've seen him use his wrestling once. I don't think he's even clinched with anyone.
Super impressive. So
I would hate to see him clinch with someone right now
because he's that good. And
take someone for a ride. Just
so it's awesome. So also speaking about taking people for rides, the other thing we were going to talk about, Fargo was going on.
Yep.
Fargo has ended up, and we got doggies barking, people knocking. Let's see what we got. So we went on with that. All right. So, one of the joys of recording in the summertime at the house here at the compound is the children and dogs. So, but Fargo is going on. Fargo's ended up. One of the things I've started doing with Fargo is, because it's such a long tournament, is no shame in it. Like, I listen to Flow and I watch Flow, and then I kind of hear about which matches were interesting. I'm going back and trying to watch some of those.
I think like last week we watched the Fix matchups and watched them dominate.
Yeah, making the junior world team. One, for example, I thought that, and you heard him talking about it in the car while we were listening to another podcast. See, we listened to other things as well. Was not Adonis, but starts with an A, Ohio wrestler. He won it at his weight. They were talking about, did you see the little thing on Instagram where somebody threw a challenge cube in and he kicked the challenge cube?
Yeah.
See,
hit the ref in the back.
No. They were talking about somebody Han hitting the ref in the back.
Oh, okay.
They threw a challenge cube out, and it like lands at his feet, and the kid kicks the challenge cube.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in the video you hear somebody yelling, "Kick him out the tournament!" Like he's a bad sport and blah blah blah. It was the finals of Fargo, all right, and it made me laugh because I was like, dude, like, it's not like he chased down the brick. And I even commented on somebody's thing. It's like, no, he should not be kicked out of the tournament. No, nothing should happen to him. He was perfectly fine. He didn't chase down this thing. Hey, baby, let's sit down for a second. He didn't chase down. Okay, does that guy up there with you?
You don't want to do that.
Okay, so he didn't chase down the brick and go hunt it down and maliciously kick this thing. Like, how dare you?
It's just kind of like a.
It landed in front of his foot, and he literally just boots it off. And then he's like, "Oh," It made me laugh. It was an instinct reaction. It happened. The kid went on to go ahead and win the match, but the outrage of some people like baffles me. How quickly people are like, "Boot him out of here. It's a bad sport. He's this. He's that. He's that." I'm like, he's in a wrestling match, which is basically a fight, and he gets up and something is thrown and it lands at his foot. Like, I don't know. Like, what else do you expect somebody to do?
So,
and it wasn't like he reared back and like soccer punted this thing. I mean, he just literally like boop.
So this kind of
and it just flew out. And
this kind of reminds me of a story. I mean, when you're wrestling, you don't even think about that. It reminds me. For a little bit of time, I tried wrestling with a mouthpiece one time, and I remember it kind of fell out. And it's just because I was like, I might wear one. Why not protect the teeth? Because I'm picky about my teeth. And I remember mine fell out. And I was like, you know what, screw it. And I threw it. I just kind of like threw it off the mat. Like, didn't even think anything of it. Luckily, I don't think the rest saw it and was like, hey, go get that or anything. But it just kind of fell out and I was just like, threw it aside. You're not really thinking about it in the moment because it's like you're focused on the match and it's like whatever's around you just want it out of the way so you can keep focused.
Yeah.
No distraction type thing. And that's honestly what I think it was. I don't think it was like he sat there and was like, that's a challenge.
It was just, I think he even said it was like, it just popped up in front of me and my foot just kicked it. Like, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. And it made me laugh. It was good to see a little bit of like humor in it. The challenge blocks to me are humorous anyway.
Oh yeah.
My favorite one was Brand throwing an Angry Bird like in Rio. Like, so it is what it is.
I don't see how he could do that with a straight face.
I don't know.
If I had an Angry Bird and I was going to
as your
throw
challenge,
I'd be like.
And then they had the blue one for the other Angry Bird. So I think there's some humor to that anyway. And like they were saying, like some of the coaches like halfway just like throw it out, and others like bang, dinging people in the back. It's kind of like the kids when they're out there with the tap towels.
Yeah,
like,
some will like gently, some will try to do it fancy, and then you'll have like Devin who absolutely blasted you with one. Where he just, whap.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently Cooksey hit your dad as hard as you can with that thing while I was officiating. So
I'm not confirming nor denying that he said that.
Yeah, so about taking my lights out with that with it.
Concussion,
just
like
the towel tapper.
Give me like a WWE rep. Just go limp and just lay there.
Yeah. So Fargo right now is a bunch of like kind of finding the stories and finding out what some good matches were and going back and watching some of those finals. And then also what I was going to say about the Fargo was what was apparently last up on the ESR thing was like had the link to the women's stuff was like, man, them girls were throwing bombs too. Like they were launching Fargo bombs, great stuff there. I mean, there was just all over the place. Fargo's a long tournament.
Entertaining tournament.
Huh?
It's an entertaining one. You see a lot of good wrestling there.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then a lot of, they've done a lot of the different studies, not even really studies, but just going back and looking at how many Fargo All-Americans and Fargo champions go on to be into NCAA champions and All-Americans. And
it's exactly what we talked about last week, how that, when we were talking about how do you determine what's the best tournament, I think we both unanimously said that Fargo should be one of the top ones that you could think about competing in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how I mean, that's where I got recruited at was at Fargo. So even though I got chunked on my head, I mean, just the ability to make it there and to wrestle there and to see and for the recruits to be out there and I guess talk to your team coaches, which are your state coaches, which may not. I was lucky enough that my high school coach was also one of the state coaches or one of the coaches for the state, for Fargo. But they get to talk to other coaches that aren't your everyday coach, and they directly get to say, man, that kid's a hard worker, or we've wrestled against that kid so many times, or so there's a lot to be gained from
Fargo
just going to Fargo.
So seamless transition. You were talking about the that's where you got recruited. You want to go ahead and get into UTC?
Yeah. So
go
go and pull up. I want to make sure I say his name right. The new interim coach. So my man Heath has gone on and decided to. We all, I guess not all of us, but I guess all of us. We got a text and then saw the Facebook stuff that Heath decided to step down from being the head coach at UT Chattanooga. So I don't know why they went all over there. So let me see. Normally we had it here. I think you just went to the schedule. There we go. So Heath resigned, and then South Africa. I hadn't seen that, but we'll click on that one. There we go. So Heath decided to resign. He's gone full time with. He's doing some FCA wrestling, and then he is also. He's also been doing motivational speaking, and he is a great motivational speaker. And then he stepped out, and I think a lot of us had talked about this, and it wasn't something that we didn't see not coming.
Yeah.
And when I say didn't see not coming, it wasn't something that we saw coming from this standpoint of like, oh man, Heath isn't doing well. It was from the standpoint of like knowing Heath and knowing what he likes to do and where he is with his faith and everything else. And also one of the things that like he's even said openly was that, if there was a position for coaching coaches, like helping coaches be better coaches, that would be like his ultimate like dream job type thing. So which is really kind of cool. And Heath is really there for the kids, for other coaches, for other people. Like I said, great motivational speaker. I think the university would have loved to have held on to him for as long as they could because, he did good things. Chattanooga stayed at the top of the Southern Conference. We did really well. The one thing that, a lot of us, talked about was like, we were just like literally a match away from getting our guys to AA. We're just, we're looking for that breakthrough thing. And, Heath brings in great coaches, great assistant coaches. And as luck would have it, he brought in Kyle Rochelle, which I added on Twitter and sent him a message and stuff like that. Which I don't really use Twitter all that much. I'm more of an Instagram person, but I had to check it all out. But Kyle Rochelle was Wisconsin assistant coach. He was, if I remember reading the article right, he was credited a lot with the other Jordan, the cousin to Bo Jordan, Isaac Jordan, and a lot of the other Wisconsin wrestlers that have done really well. So it looked like we were bringing a great guy in to help our guys out. And as much as almost instantaneously, it was kind of funny because me and my buddy Nick and just the other people from Chattanooga that we all wrestled with Heath and we're there and we're great supporters of Heath, we did start playing the like, man, who are we going to get next? Like, we hope the alumni still gets a chance to have some sort of say in this or somehow, some way, because we all feel very deeply about our program there. If you haven't been able to tell, he talks about me homering out over here with Chattanooga and whatnot, but that's okay. But
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, you only want the best for, not only for your school that you're an alumni at, but it's also a sport that is, in my opinion, almost grossly misunderstood, especially in the southern region in general. It's not a very it's something that you want all eyes on a sport that you're so passionate about. I mean, if Clemson had one, I would be every day just kind of nose deep in whatever they
if Clemson did have one, which they should have one, like I'm not a Clemson fan, you know that, but I'm not a South Carolina fan, so it has nothing to do with South Carolina or Clemson. I just really don't have a reason for it, but if they had it, the proximity to it, I would become a fan and I would cheer for them and do things like that.
I mean, they're in the perfect region. We could go on about this again, but they're in the perfect region.
Yeah. About doing things and all that kind of stuff there. So, but
I was trying to get a dog in.
Oh, okay.
I started making dog noise.
Okay. Hey, Pika.
I turned into a pro at bowling.
Cool. All right. So, you want to come sit in? You can sit in and be quiet. Yeah. Check him out. All right.
Heath is retiring?
Yeah, so Heath is retiring. Huh? Well, he's going on to move on to do some other stuff. So, and this is Devin back here, and he's like, why is Heath retiring? Because he's been to camp with us at Chattanooga.
You know who I am, people.
Yes, you know who he is. But he's been to camp with us at Chattanooga, knows Heath, and, he's also a big fan of our program over there and everything else like that. But, like I said...
I don't want to wrestle anymore over there.
Where are you going to wrestle? You haven't decided yet now? No, never changed your mind? Were you going to wrestle for Heath or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so...
Different school now.
Okay.
I'm going to Wisconsin.
Under Bono?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Whoever he is.
He was over there. But, so, what we were talking about was, like, who would be a good fit for there. And one of the names that I mentioned and that we all liked was, like, we were talking about Morningstar from Iowa. Because, you know, that's what I was saying, because you were talking about him. And I was like, you know, it'd be great for him to come in. Chattanooga already has the Iowa ties with having Brands have had been the coach there, Morningstar being one of his assistant coaches, and Dan Dennis having moved into the Chattanooga area. I was like, there's a lot of like Iowa influence. That would be like a really cool thing for our program. And one of the things I just really want to see is I want to see what happens with Chattanooga. Kyle Rochelle, I hope him the best of luck. He's going to be the interim coach. Hopefully he does a good job, and you know I could see him taking over as the head coach if he does a good job. Like, you know, all the stuff that was going on with how well he was doing over at Wisconsin. But some things that I think need to happen is I want to see what happens if he pushes for an RTC, which we've talked about before. Because with PC getting a program, they're going in the Southern Conference. They have an RTC. Campbell having Colat there, which is just a huge name. They got Mike Evans as their RTC coach, I think. You know, them having an RTC. Like, I just don't want to see Chattanooga fall behind, and I think them having an RTC would be very helpful. Yeah, he is just loving life right back there. But I think an RTC would be helpful, and I don't know who they would need to get in there for an RTC coach, but I think that's big. And you and I have talked about RTCs and everything else.
They could be the outlet to a pro wrestling system or a semi-pro wrestling system.
It could be.
I mean,
so. All right, you're going to have to go if you keep on, because we're trying to
Hey, that's how you get more subs. Everyone
more
likes
subs.
Fortnite.
Yeah, all right. So, subscribe so you can see Devin do some more stuff. And follow the channel. Okay. Now, are you happy now?
Yeah, my arm.
Okay,
My
good.
arm didn't pick
So, but yeah, the RTC I think is the next wave of like, it seems to be synonymous with good programs, just having that extra outlet for those guys to be able to go do something after they graduate, or the draw of going to a program and seeing that they're invested in wrestling so much that they have the RTC, the Regional Training Center, so that they can continue their dreams, like I said, continuing the dream past the collegiate level, you know. I think that's huge. It's big. It used to be like, you know, if you wanted to go do something, you had to go to Colorado and you had to go to the Olympic Training Center. And, you know, that was where it was. And then they started doing the RTCs, and more schools are getting them. And I don't want to see Chattanooga fall behind. I want to see all of a sudden Kyle an email or something, you know, just say, hey, best of luck, and, like, just fill them out, see where we are with things. You know, just as an alumni, we want to, what's best for our program.
You're talking about, you know, Regional Training Center and, you know, training in Colorado. What kind of amazes me is that you've never had, like, even in wrestling, you've always had, like, a select few teams, but you've never really had, like, any college out of Colorado have, like, some standout team like that, though.
Yeah, you know, and there's
which is kind of amazing, because they had, I mean, that's pretty much the original place to train.
And it's kind of crazy, because, like, because when I was
Colorado Springs, isn't it? It's in Colorado Springs.
It's in Colorado Springs.
So, I mean, you could have, like,
my grandfather took me there. He was, he went to the Olympics. He was a Olympic fencer. Yeah. And he worked at the, he was retired Army, but he worked at the Air Force Academy as the fencing coach. They got a Edwin L. Purdy Award that's given out by my grandmother every year for, like, that's a combination of, I think, how good you are in sport and, like one of those, it's not a Peyton Manning Award, Walter Payton Award, like how good a person you are, you know. So my grandmother was able to give that award out for fencing, and he was, you know, he's been obviously to the Olympic Training Center over there. And I remember being a little kid, maybe a little bit older than this guy right over here, getting tours of the place and stuff with him and everything like that, which I thought was just really kind of cool and everything else. So, yeah, but like I said, it was there. The other school I was looking at before Chattanooga,
Fox,
and was before I decided to go to Chattanooga because it was D1, was Western Colorado and Gunnison, Colorado. They had a D2 program for wrestling, and that's where Shane Carwin wrestled, also former UFC guy. But beyond that, what you looking at, girl? You know, you're right, and it's crazy that there's not a big D1 name in Colorado for wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
and as a state, they've got a lot of great wrestlers. That
Colorado, University of Colorado, Boulder.
Boulder. Buffs.
Dude, as I say, they do have a team, don't they?
Not I could that be I know.
I mean, I could be mistaken. I don't know, but
yeah.
I mean, if not, that they're wasting an opportunity.
Yeah,
you have nothing but good. Well, now since you have regional training centers, it's going to be different. like everywhere. But
I mean, can you
back in
imagine
the
if
day,
that was
yeah.
your regional training center was the
Who
actual,
in Colorado
was
yeah.
the actual Olympic training
the
center?
OG training center? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean that's
How
what
cool
kinda
would that
amazes
be?
me.
Like, you know,
Yeah. And it's like they were talking about on that on the podcast earlier that we were listening to. Another place, Oregon. Oregon produces a lot of pretty good wrestlers.
well, Oregon is the one that dropped their program.
Yeah, and then but I'm saying they dropped it, but it's like Oregon's produced good wrestlers before, and it's kind of like, I mean, Chael Sonnen wrestled at Oregon.
Love to see them bring their program back. So
that'd be great.
So
as long as they don't have these crazy looking singlets like they do in football,
but
I would
at
be so mad.
at the same time though, but if that was their thing, if they were able to pull it off, like I don't know, like
I just feel like they would ruin it. They would make it look so bad.
Nah, I think they would do a good job with it. I think they'd do like Maryland. Maryland has the crazy helmets and everything else like that, and that flag is so kind of iconic. They're able to mix that flag in so many things that it's ugly but cool, and I think there's some of their singlets have had the flag or something on it, but it hasn't been like so gaudy that it's.
I'm gonna take that back. I think you're right. I'm gonna take back what I said. Although I still would be like they're gonna have like 17 different singlets for the season.
That's fine. I mean, what'll be funny is when they come out with the highlighter one and they look like a bunch of highlighters going. Now that might be a bit much when it's all just.
You better win if you're wearing the highlighter singlet. You better win because if not,
all attention is on you. So
that's like someone I know that they bought. My brother, he bought a yellow gi, and the guy I trained with was telling me, he's like, you can't wear that at a tournament. One, because the rules don't allow it. And he said, two, he's like, if you lose in that thing,
no, yeah,
he's like, yeah, you're never gonna hear at the end of it.
Yeah, basically. So, but kind of wrapped up a couple different things with that whole discussion on RTCs and everything. Go Chattanooga, go Mox,
go Michigan,
go Kyle Rochelle. Supporting you. Hope we go a long way with all that, and best of luck. And I hope that that's the other thing. Just with our program is like in the Southern Conference, and we've talked about it before. The other conferences, other than the Big Ten, are getting better and better teams, better and better wrestling. I think the quality of assistant coaches and coaches that are able to spread out and go different areas is getting to be that it's just doing nothing but good things for the sport. There's areas and places where people are just, they're more wrestlers that are having more opportunity to go different areas, that maybe can't just all go Big Ten.
Yeah.
So while I think all that is great,
ACC
is the big one I think that is doing it. I think they're just missing out on getting somebody to, not somebody because they've had national champs, but getting a few more national champs and spreading that out. And programs like the Southern Conference are getting better and better guys, better and better coaches. I mean, you got Kerry Cole out, over there. You got Presbyterian College and opening up their thing and building a great, $1 million
Tennessee,
complex.
you had guys like Bryce Carr. Bryce Carr, who was in the tournament. A couple guys actually. I had a few guys in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scotty Boykin, Bryce Carr. We had Alonzo Allen. Got to wrestle Spencer Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, great, but
it's like y'all got the.
We got the guys are there.
It's just need that next little.
Just that next little bit,
push.
and I just also don't want to. I want to see us keep up with. As much as I hate the term like keeping up with the Joneses, I don't want to see us like fall because we're not putting out what the other programs are in the small Southern Conference.
See with Kyle Rochelle, it's like now you've got that guy who comes from that D1
from the
so
Big
it's like,
Ten.
Here's what we know it's going to take.
Don't go on camera.
Yep. So she's been on camera before. So.
But not with me.
Okay. But it's
you see the little head right there by your arm.
Yeah. She is. But that's what we need and what I want to see us continue to do. So, hopefully we'll go there. And to carry off of transitions, I guess to wrap up for the day, like my homerism. Okay. Sure, right there. Well, okay. So, I homered out on Chattanooga, which I do all the time. You were talking about...
Yeah, Scott Mormont for Michigan. I mean, although it's like, we were talking about it in the car, while it's going to be exciting and I can't wait to see what he does. It's honestly he was there, last year. I mean, he's been there.
He has been there.
So it's not like it's a new coach coming into a new setting. So he's kind of already got everything.
Yeah.
He's got the systems already laid out for him. So it's like
because we were talking about what we were talking about, like which new coach is going to have the biggest impact year one, and where at first I wanted to say Bono because I was thinking of like it's a multi-phase question. Like, is it really the coach or
as impact?
Yeah, or is it like. Or is it just carrying the current guys that you have? Or, really, for me, like, new coaches, it's always like a 4-year down the road thing. When do you start seeing the guys that you bring in start doing something? Now, at the same time, I also agree that I think Bournemouth has the potential to be like the biggest first year thing just because of all the guys that are still going to be at Michigan.
He's
like,
already,
who did they lose?
Like, no one. I think other than let's see,
who graduated?
Pantelio, I think.
Did he, or like he seems to have like 20,000 years of eligibility?
Yeah, it seems like it. Let's see.
But I don't know. But I thought they had the most returning guys.
Yeah, we've got a lot of returning guys. Yeah,
for a team with a new coach.
Let's see.
Like I think Wisconsin's got a few new guys, but SDSU has a couple guys. They got a new coach. West Virginia, I think he's going to have to. Flynn is going to have to rebuild over there. So, it's just going to take a few things. But I think that Michigan had the most guys that are still there. So,
roster.
Let's
check out who all we got. Who's
still on their roster. So I think I think we both were like
so
Malik Amin, Miles Amin.
This is 2002. Yeah, so we got Austin Assad, who at 97 we've got who's a redshirt freshman. So Corell, Andrew Davison, Embry. So yeah, he redshirt. Trying to see if where he's at
there.
Drew Matton will be back for us, which he was a freshman last year, which he did decent.
Michik is going to be...
Yeah, he's going to be the guy for us.
What do you think...
Pantelio is a fifth year. Okay, never mind.
Fifth year. See, so you still got Amin, you got Michik, you got Pantelio.
Profaci, Sal Profaci, he actually wrestled some pretty good matches last year.
So you got a lot of point scorers that are going to be... You're going to be a lot of...
Abonator.
That's
who we're minus now.
Okay, so you missed out on the guy who...
should have beat Logan Massa coming back.
Massa's back.
He's a red shirt.
Abonator's the only one that
really left.
Carr should have.
Kuhn isn't back.
Kuhn.
Kuhn.
Yeah, how can I forget about Kuhn? Yeah.
The astronaut. So. But I still think that they got like some of the most point scorers back. So I expect them to probably be. I guess if you want to say.
He just
first
looks like a grown man.
Yeah.
Talking about
So if you say first year point or first year impact, I'm still gonna go with Mormay, even though he's not really his first year there, since he's not a new coach. I don't know who their new heavyweight will be. So
here we go, right here.
So I don't know.
Josh Trurella. So everyone knows the dad,
Trilla Till, and they got
Mark Trilla.
So I think they'll do well. I think Wisconsin is going to be a Big Ten name that will, not that they're not already on the map, but I think Bono with his track record and everything, it would put them on the map pretty well. So
what about Rutgers?
Rutgers?
Yeah.
I mean Rutgers. But they didn't get a new coach. We're talking about teams with new coaches and stuff like that. So
Speaking
of Rutgers, like Sirianni, do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, I think I do.
Dude, have you seen his training stuff that he's been putting out lately?
Ridiculous. This man's an animal.
Dude is an animal. Like, I don't know. And they said he's going up to 33.
I can see that.
And then after seeing that, but also somebody said he could still make 25. And I was like, holy cow.
So the thing is that we've talked about that. How much does a weight cut hinder you though?
20.
Huh?
Like
how much does weight cuts hinder you in your performance?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's like I would be excited to see him to go to 33.
I would be too. I would just 25 and 33 are both going to be pretty amazing because you're going to have Michik, you're going to have Suriano. Fix, where's Fix going to go? Is he going to go 25? Is he going to go to 33?
Where do you think he is going to? Have we talked about that?
Fix? I don't know. I would imagine 25, which makes things tough for Lee to become a four-timer.
That's a matchup I'd love to see.
Because whether it happened this year or the next year or whichever, I mean, that's potential 3 years of those two wrestling off for the 25 spot. Yep. So I know you've said it before, like Lee being the next four-timer. If Fix is in the mix at 25,
so part of that is like
if you throw those, I know, but if you throw those three in the finals for the next 3 years, they're like the chances of one of them winning it all 3 times
is astronomically low.
Like that, I mean, I just got to see that going back and forth. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
I say that. I say it jokingly. That
I hope Fix. No, I don't think it's a joke. I think it could happen.
No, I mean like partially because I'm a fan. Like I'm a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe he can do it. there's like a huge. I mean, there's a difference between believing he can do it and thinking will he actually.
Oh yeah.
So we talked about Joseph. I don't think he's going to be a 4-timer. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think he's. Yeah, Vincenzo Joseph. Sorry, I just kind of shorthanded his name.
But I mean, but at the same time though, could Fix become a 4-timer? So possibility.
Oh,
I mean, and then also just those lightweights. 33. I mean, we get Michigan and Iowa wrestling Big Ten.
Yeah.
We get the DeSanto Micic rematch.
No Kimuras this time.
But like, I mean, who tells me they don't want to see that match?
Oh, I think both of them want that match again.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, Micic, even though he's a calm, cool, collected kind of guy, and brushed it off like, he
wants that match again.
Oh God, he wants to hammer DeSanto. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. And DeSanto wants, he wants the win, obviously.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of leads us into like we're getting close to. Not really into summer. I don't like to talk about it that way because it makes me sad.
We're getting close to the start of wrestling season.
Yes, we're getting close to the start of wrestling season, which I am looking forward to very much, but I'm also at the same time completely focused in and looking forward to all of our international wrestling and other stuff going on right now.
Camping.
Well, yes, we got another camping trip coming up, so we will be good to go. But, hey, good stuff still to come. We're going to keep coming at you guys with some stuff until school starts up. And then we'll figure out our schedule for when we're going to record on those days.
So we'll go ahead. We'll leave a question to set up for next episode.
All right.
That's way people watching it or listening, you can either comment or tell us what you think.
Hit us on the email cerebruswrestling@gmail.com.
Let's make it a
Instagram,
Facebook.
Right.
A 2-part question. Let's say which new coach do you think have the biggest impact? It's a good question. Secondly, where do you see the who do you think is going to take Big Ten next year? Like, who do you think will be the standout team?
The Big Ten, not just NCAA's, but Big Ten.
Yeah, let's go Big Ten. Let's go. I mean, we were just talking a lot about Big Ten, Iowa, and all that. So why not? Let's go ahead and do that. NCAA's. I mean, we could do one with that. We can do that next episode as well. But who do you think will be a breakout team for the Big Ten? So that's a good question.
Good deal. All right. Well, we're getting on out of here, guys. I guess checking him out back there. All right. So we're out, and like I said, we'll come back out with you guys. Tell us what you think on who you think Big Ten and or NCAA's, all the different places. Also, check out our sponsor, Roll Soap. I saw his latest post. He had some big news coming too. So I'm not privy to what that big news is.
I'm not either. I'm waiting.
I am waiting as well, and I'm looking forward to hearing.
Hopefully, it's beard products, so I can grow my beard back again.
All right. So beard products, which that's about as much as I get. All right.
You can wash your chin.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash my chin with it. I'll take it. So, all right, guys. We'll catch you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.